Alright, so anyway, yeah, in the YouTube clips, there might not be this ranting and raving, so, you know, that's all the more incentive to check out the live episode. So, there you go. I just get so mad sometimes, man, when I talk about this stuff, especially our leaders. I mean, I see these guys and the way they act, and it's just like, fuck, didn't I act like this when I was in the 6th grade? Or fucking junior high or high school? I mean, it's like, these guys never outgrew fucking high school. I mean, literally. And it's just fucking bullshit. They're fucking leaders. I mean, you know, it's just, oh, it makes you just want to vomit all over your keyboard, ladies and gentlemen. So, those of us who are open to change, open to this change, will view the change as positive. And will resurrect into the 5th dimension. Again, this is not my own personal opinion. This is just like, once again, I'd like to do a disclaimer. I said at the beginning of the show, the show is on prophecy. And what I tried to do, I studied a lot of this prophecy stuff over the years. So what I tried to do was basically find the stuff that was agreed upon by most of the major world exoteric religions and esoteric religions. And once again, if I have to go into an explanation of that, yeah, the exoteric religions are more like mainstream religions like Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, Judaism, what have you. The esoteric religions are more of these like secret society, occult organizations that hide in the secret and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, I've been studying this stuff since I was a kid, so it was just like I thought I'd do a show on prophecy and try to focus on the stuff that agreed as opposed to the stuff that disagreed. As George Bush once said, I'm a uniter, not a divider. No, but, you know, George Bush. Gotta love him. You know, guy tried his hardest, didn't he? I mean, he really gave it a shot. So, anyway. Okay, now, resurrecting into the 5th dimension. Do you guys actually believe this? I mean, I brought this up numerous times. Do you actually believe that we were created originally as 5th dimensional beings, and then after the fall from grace, we descended into a 3-dimensional reality, which that is when we started noticing polarity, differences between black and white, hot and cold, left and right, you and me. We started sensing a sense of separateness. Do you believe that? I don't, look, I'm not going to say I believe it 100%, but it's a cool theory. It's something fun to think about. I mean, at one time, we were like godlike beings. And then, because of one reason or another, we got kicked out of this godlike dimension, and we're kicked more into an animal dimension. And that, when all is said and done, at the end of the day, we might actually have a chance to rise back into this godless dimension. It's fun to think about. I'm not going to say I believe it 100%, but a man or woman has to cling to whatever hope they can nowadays, right? Okay. So, mankind awakens out of its sleep that has lasted tens of thousands of years. The whole universe is alive with an infinite number of worlds and dimensions, which we've already been over. Okay, do I have to go back to explaining the different dimensions that are already scientifically proven, mathematically proven? I don't think so. So, there will be a return of the gods, the NEPHILIM, the extraterrestrials, and ultimately a group will survive this coming of the gods. Okay? The Muslims are awaiting what they call the Mahdi, which is what we call over here the Messiah. So the Muslims are waiting their Mahdi, their Messiah. The Jews are waiting for their first Messiah. They thought Jesus was bunk, I guess. The Buddhists also, believe it or not, they believe another Buddha will be coming to Earth, another incarnation of the Buddha, and he will be called Maitreya. And Christians are awaiting the second coming of Christ, of course. So, even, if you want to go back to the Bible, the Old Testament, even Baal and Ra from Egypt have promised to return. So, a lot of people are thinking that 2011, 2012, and beyond will be the return of the NEPHILIM. And all of this UFO activity and UFO sightings that we've been experiencing in the last, 20 or, I guess it goes back to right after World War II. These guys have just sort of been scout ships, not only coming from different parts of the universe, but also coming from different dimensions, multi-dimensional beings. So, and they're just scouting stuff out for the return. They're not the actual return; they're the scouts. So, if there is a return of the gods, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, by definition, they will be extraterrestrials. They'll be off-world beings. I mean, call them what you want. Call them angels, gods, avatars, whatever. They'll be coming from outer space. And they're not, beings of this world. So they are extraterrestrials by definition. So, okay, a lot of people that are opening themselves up to these higher dimensions, who are taking the time out to actually study, and I'm talking about studying the hard sciences as well. They're feeling that they are entering a never-ending learning process where life is just some sort of playground. Now, however, there are humans who have subconsciously decided to stay in the third dimension, and they will not feel much of a change at all. Any great changes in themselves. But there will be, according to a lot of these different prophecies, there will be a process of purification on a planetary level. The placement of the poles is shifting. This is hard science. I mean, it's already been happening. I know whenever you might hear people talk about pole shifts and whatnot, you're thinking, oh, this guy, he's a gloom and doom naysayer, blah, blah, blah. But no, the poles have already started shifting. That's already been proven scientifically. So, sorry, but it's true. Sorry, man. Okay, so, anyway. So anyway, the climactic zones will probably change at a fast pace, and honestly, I'm not really that worried about it. I'm really not. Study this kind of stuff, and I think, well, it's just like, I've looked death in the face before, and it just doesn't fucking scare me. I mean, it really doesn't. I mean, it's like, okay, it's like if I survive through this great change, fine and dandy. But if I don't, then I'll die, and I won't have to fucking worry about it, So it's like, hey, and once again, it's all part of my philosophy, man. It's like, don't buy into the fear. These guys want you to feel fear. That's how they herd you into the corral, through fear. And I've never been one to really buy into it. I mean, I'm human. And of course, I felt fear in my life. In occult times, one or two dudes have actually scared the shit out of me, and so it's like, I'm not going to claim I'm that much of a badass, but for the most part, I guess my philosophy of life is, whenever someone's trying to make me feel fear, I just think, oh, okay, you're trying to manipulate me, and so. But anyway, so there will be an increase in earthquakes and volcanoes, which has already started to occur. Everyone's noticed this. I mean, I don't have to go into Haiti and Peru and to tell you what the hell's going on. And the Great Tsunami and all that kind of stuff. Weird stuff's going on. Landmass shifts, earthquakes, tidal waves. The wheat shall part from the chaff, as they say. So, people who can adapt to this faster, high-flowing energy will survive the purification process. And what's going to happen is it's going to happen. Matter is becoming etheric. As we descend more or ascend more into this galactic plane, where matter is actually becoming more etheric. It's vibrating at a higher level. And as matter becomes more etheric, intentions will manifest in the world of form a lot quicker and more instantaneous, because there will be less resistance to will. Manifesting as matter becomes, as matter becomes more etheric and less dense, people's intentions and desire will manifest a lot faster. So those who are open to the higher vibrations, those who are positive and focus on the positive, faith as opposed to fear, they will see a great positive thing happening on Earth. Those who ascend above polarity, those who are ready to go on to the fifth dimension, they'll start manifesting a very positive reality in which we are ascending into the fifth dimension. However, this works both ways. Those who are negative and fearful, and they'll be anchored into a third dimensional reality, to where, you know, they don't really believe in a spirit world, and they believe, oh, you're full of bullshit, and, you know, you new age motherfucker, blah blah blah. You know what I'm talking about. These people, their reality will manifest great tragedy and calamity, apocalypse. The process of aging will increase for these people as well. So, those who are left will usher in the new golden age. The Third World War will start in Europe, according to a lot of these prophecies. There will be 3 armies that will invade from the east. And so keep an eye out for that. Who will these 3 armies be? I don't know. Russia, maybe? China, maybe? The Muslims, maybe? I don't know. But that's actually what's his name? Nostradamus. Yeah, that's a Nostradamus prophecy that I stole there. So thanks, Nostradamus. Appreciate it, man. Didn't mean to plagiarize. So.